Want to hear the best soundtrack of the year? The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 soundtrack is our item of the day. You can buy it from the Great Media Universe store below.
Hello everyone, this is Kevin, your entrepreneur, and there was a taxi protest in Chile at an airport that resulted in one life being lost. Now, here's the thing. I complain about the Uber rates all the time, and I don't believe the rates are healthy for anyone. I don't believe they're healthy for drivers. I don't even think they're healthy for the company. I don't think they're healthy for the consumer even. Consumers have unrealistic expectations when prices get too low on certain things. I admit that, even though I like Movie Pass and think that that could be a good thing for movie theaters, I do understand why low prices would concern everyone. But people who have especially taken issue is the taxi industry. Now, the taxi industry has had a monopoly, a virtual monopoly on transportation for a long time. It was either the taxi for a more direct route, or there was public transportation for a usually inefficient route. There was no in between. When Uber and Lyft came along and challenged that, the taxi industry got mad. They started suing and they started pushing. Here's the thing. Taxis used to be the great entrepreneurial business. People could become a taxi and make a lot of money. But then, because so many people were becoming entrepreneurs, the government put limitations on taxis with the medallion system and stuff. And yeah, then when Uber came along and took away that restriction, you saw how many people were willing to become entrepreneurs again. I don't believe more regulation for Uber is necessary. I believe less regulation for the taxis is necessary. That said, the taxis could be doing things to compete with Uber. They don't have to charge as much as they do. I think they charge way too much. If Uber charges way too little, taxis charge way too much. Also, taxis don't have a lot of app support. People want to call taxis on their app. They don't want to go through the cumbersome phone call process anymore. Most taxi services have not solved this problem. They have not filled that need. And the only thing taxis are really doing is suing lawmakers and states and protesting at airports. And what they were doing at the Chile airport was they were blocking traffic. They got their cabs all there and they were protesting basically to try to get the airport to get Uber off the land. Now, of course, here's the thing. The airport had every right not to do that because the problem with these types of protests is if you get into a protest like this, for one thing, you could give into a protest for anything. More people start blocking traffic and interrupting business because they want you to do something that it is not in the airport's best interest to do, or really any company. So there was footage of like cranes removing cars, taxi drivers getting arrested, and then someone even died through all the commotion. A huge tragedy. And so I want to take this moment to talk to the taxi industry. Just talk to the taxi industry and ask you guys, do you honestly feel good about this? Do you feel good about this? Someone died. Someone died. There was chaos. There was protests. It sounds an awful lot like what happened in Virginia. It's almost no different, except the cause was a lot less noble. You just didn't want to get your stranglehold on Uber and Lyft. And here's the thing. Business is never about strangleholds. I know businesses want to have strangleholds because they can do whatever they want, and they don't have to improve their services because they know people will use it. But here's the reality. You have competition. Not only do you have competition, you had it 5 years ago, and you're showing up to the race 5 years too late. It is time to grow up. It is time to start thinking of ways to attract people away. Maybe it's time to start offering amenities, candy, water for free. It's part of the taxi service. It's time to embrace the app and make apps that people can contact a taxi, network with the other companies and create an Uber app killer for taxis and give people discounts if they use it through the app. You must evolve and you must do this. You must lower the rates. Maybe not to what Uber and Lyft is, but hey, maybe like instead of starting the ride off at $10, maybe start it off at $6. Why not? Just, do something to start, being competitive. I mean, you guys have at least one advantage over Uber and Lyft. If your car shows up, people can just get in the car and you have a ride. With Uber and Lyft, that doesn't happen. Take that to your advantage and properly position yourself in places where maybe people don't have cell phone services, but they need a ride home. Drive your cabs there, they get in the cab, they go home. It's easy peasy. You need to start innovating. You need to start changing how your business works. The issue is not Uber and Lyft existing. The issue is that you guys for years did not evolve. You treated your customers terribly, you ripped them off, and when something better came along, they went for it. And the funny thing is, now Uber is in such bad news, has such a seedy reputation, that this is the time that you should be taking advantage of to get back at them. And you're not. You're simply protesting, and you don't look good when you block traffic at airports, not only because you're blocking people from getting home or getting to the planes, to the point where like the airport has to get cranes to lift your cars off the road, but now someone's dying. Is that really what you want to do? Is your business so important that people should die to protect it? I don't think it is. And people needn't beat it. The free market works where, hey, if something comes along and it's eating your lunch, you do something to get people to eat. You try to eat their lunch. Now, if you can't eat their lunch, you go out of business, unfortunately. But the thing is, I don't think the taxi industry is as useless as people say it is. I think the taxi industry is still very valuable. It's very valuable, especially in places like New York and Los Angeles. So figure it out. Just figure it out. You can do this. I know it's hard, and I know you're a little stale on innovation, but you can innovate, you can do things, and you can compete with Uber and Lyft if you want. But now, I turn the question on to you guys. What do you think? Do you think the taxes are done? Do you think they can still change and get some of these customers back? Do you agree with the protest? Do you believe they shouldn't be protesting like that at all? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member for about as little as $1 a month. $5 will get access to exclusive videos not seen anywhere else. And if you want to try driving Uber or Lyft, sign up below. You'll get a nice little referral bonus. Hey, that's another thing taxi can do. Referral bonuses. That seems to work a lot. And as always, claim responsibly. Have a good one.